and the concubines, so they were all part of the harem structure. So, and there was a big hierarchy in the harem which had to be followed as well. So you couldn't just walk in and walk out and like I'm the queen, so I'm the favorite queen, I'm the big boss. It didn't happen like that. Okay, so then now the third building on the left is the hall of private audience. Now this is where the emperor used to hold court for the ministers, and this is where all the state policies, important decisions, they were all taken from this building. So this is again done purely in marble. So what you're looking at is white marble, not the faux marble look. In the hall of entertainment is faux marble look. In the sleeping chambers is a combination. It's the real thing and the sandstone which is used. The corner building, the hall of private audience, was the most important building, and that is where the peacock throne was housed as well. So the peacock throne cost them 2 billion rupees in those days, in 1638, to get it done, which was taken away by the Shah of Iran in 1728. So which is today in Tehran, and it's not the original throne, because they say on the way down to Iran he had to pay the army, so they had to disperse with the original pieces. So they sort of broke it down because it was solid gold. It was 12 feet by 12 feet of marble seat, and then it had all these 12 pillars of solid gold that were surrounding the seat, and it had a canopy in gold and red. So that is how the peacock throne was done. And then of course there were all these rows of rubies and emeralds, and the biggest diamond, which is the Kohinoor diamond, that was embedded in a peacock, which was the highlight of the throne. So that was the peacock throne housed the largest diamond, which was actually about 105 carats. So that is how large, ladies, the diamond was. So you can imagine, so you couldn't obviously wear it as a ring. It was born as an armlet. That's how the diamond was used. So today the diamond is in the coronation crown of the Queen of England, and you'll see it in London. But it's been broken down as well, so it's not in its original form. It's no longer the 105 carats. It is 2 different pieces. One is in her necklace and the other is in the coronation crown. From the hall of private audience, we go on to the hammams. Those are the bathing chambers. Now they have 3 separate sections, one for hot water, one for cold water, one for rose-scented water. So the hot water is a jacuzzi, which is a embedded bath. And under it, they have this entire system which is heating the water continuously. The next building is the cold water, so it's kind of like a shower system there. And the third is the perfume section, which is the rose water. So that was like fountains which were coming out from the floor. There are these little lotus flowers which have these showers in them, and that was to perfume yourself when you were after your bath. So that's how these halls and rooms were laid out. So now the last building in the row with the dome, that is a mosque that was put up by Shah Jahan's son, Aurangzeb. So this is the one which was done by his favorite son, his least favorite son rather. He was the one who was instrumental in the downfall of the Mughal dynasty. So he was also the most conventional of the lot. So during his time, it was the beginning of the downfall of the Mughal dynasty, because he had imprisoned his father eventually to get the throne, and he had his elder brothers killed to get to the throne as well. So that was the story of Aurangzeb. Alright, so I'll let you go now. What you need to